is the Tile Happy Hour. This is the place where you want to come and learn more about the tile and stone industry. And John is with me today, actually in person, side by side, and normally that is not the case. But John, I did tell a little bit of a lie. What did I
say today was Friday?
I did say today was Friday.
Yeah, it's not.
What do you mean it's not? But we're live on Fridays, John.
Well, we are in Orange County Convention Center, and today is not Friday. It is Tuesday, April 18th.
You
almost didn't know what day it was.
Yeah, he did. He was confused. It is Tuesday. So we have had the honor and the privilege to be recording our podcast and live stream in the Orange County Convention Center for Coverings 2023. And John, once again, we're breaking all molds. We've had guests before, but today we have two guests, and they're live.
Yes, they're usually not live.
We have trouble getting live guests. Yes. We use avatars and AI all the time, but Coverings has started off with a bang, and if you're watching this on Friday, it's over. I hope that you were here. I hope you said hey to me, John, Kristin, or Filippo, and if not, you missed a good time. If you're watching on a recording, we still want to hear from you. This is your podcast. Ask us the questions you want to know about the tile and stone industry. We can't answer them today because we're not live, but we will answer them in the future. John, can you tell me who we have with us today?
Absolutely. Well, great to be here as well, live in person. So we have the Senior Vice President of NOVITA Communications, Kristin Coleman.
Hello.
Now, Kristin, that didn't sound like a tile name.
You mean an Italian name?
NOVITA, that's not a tile company, is it?
No.
Okay.
We're PR marketing.
You snuck in. Gotcha.
I did.
So NOVITA, the founder of NOVITA, Kristin Abadi, is an absolute icon in the industry. Yep. She has been with the Italian Trade Commission and Ceramic Tiles of Italy, was involved in creating that logo, the red logo with the slash of red in it. It says Tiles of Italy and
Ceramics of Italy.
Ceramics of Italy.
Yeah.
And didn't she just win an award too? She won. She won an award.
She got Best Marketer of the Year, Interior Design Magazine, and the boss lady is a legend.
She is amazing, but it trickles down to the rest of the team. So tell us a little bit more about what you do. But before you do that, I just don't want to ignore Filippo Minuzzi, who is the CEO of Ceramica Sant'Agostino, Sant'Agostino Ceramica.
Wait a minute. It sounds like everybody has an accent.
Yeah.
Except for me. You said that. Are you Italian?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I've been claimed that I am Italian, but I don't think I am. Can you confirm?
Yeah, I can confirm.
That I am not Italian. That's good.
Not
Filippo,
Italian.
thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Yes.
Well, Filippo, so the company that Filippo is the CEO of is really, talking about icons, is iconic in the industry, kind of like Gucci in fashion. Literally. It's a Ferrari for cars, seriously.
You should steal that for your tagline.
Yeah. It's
the Gucci of tile.
Well, so the tile sector really evolves around Fiorano Modenese, in the Modenese area, which is the home of Ferrari, and tile. So if you go on the internet and you look up Fiorano or Modenese in the area, Modena, you see Ferraris and you see tile. Is there anything else going on in that area?
It is. Well, cars and tiles for sure are the best you can find in that area. Also food is not bad.
Well,
also balsamic.
Balsamic, yes.
Ah.
Very aged
So
balsamic.
are your company cars Ferraris?
We are.
Wow.
We are.
Are you hiring?
It's our company is a company founded almost 60 years ago in Emilia-Romagna, in that area, and is a family business founded by my grandfather. And at the moment, I'm the third generation who is managing Ceramica Sant'Agostino.
Wow.
Now, how did it start? Just ceramics, porcelain? 60 years ago, it was probably just ceramics.
Just ceramics,
and always exporter or local, and then grew from there?
We started export in the 70s. Before it was only for local market for Italy. Now our numbers are 70% export and 30% domestic market.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So 1970s was probably a 20 centimeter Picatora tile.
Yeah, it was Was Bicottura before, was Monocottura after, and porcelain now.
Wow, Monocottura was the breakthrough.
Yeah.
Was the porcelain of the 70s or the 80s. It was.
I don't know what you're all talking about. I was not.
You
I
weren't
was,
born
I was
yet.
alive. I didn't know anything about tile in the 70s or 80s, but
They are filming this, Craig.
Yeah.
we'll erase that. Government. I feel like this is a government.
So
Sorry, Senator, your time has expired.
we're talking about a brand, and we're talking about, it's really not just a brand, it's really an institution, your company, and one of the first. I mean, for 60 years, literally, it's amazing. And the whole region produces tile, and it's probably one of the last, I call it the sectors, like Pittsburgh used to be for steel, right? But one of the last sectors of industry in the world is the Italian tile sector in that region. And it's really an honor to have you here. I did not know your history, so that's really nice. We're in presence of royalty here, so I'm very happy to have you. So when we talk about products and we talk about the industry, you need to get the word out. You need to let the world know about products. And this is where Kristin's company, NOVITA, comes in. And we'd like to know a little history of your company and what you do at the company.
So marketing is important? Is that what you're saying?
Just a little bit, yeah. I've been out on the trade floor with a blowhorn all day, so nice to sit down. But yeah, I've been working at NOVITA for the past 15 years. I'm Senior Vice President. I've been working with Chris Abadi that whole time, and the company itself, we just celebrated our 25th anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah, so congratulate Chris. Well, Chris when you see her. But yeah, we've been working with the Italian ceramics industry that entire time, so for 25 or 30 years even. And we technically handle the marketing and PR in North America.
And how is it now with technology, with social media, integrated marketing? What does that mean, and how does that relate to our industry?
Well, I mean, everyone's on social media. And I mean, it's great because you get to connect with people all over the country, all over the world. I mean, for Ceramics of Italy, we're on pretty much every single social media platform except for TikTok. We've managed to evade that one.
Probably not a bad idea.
So far.
John mentioned that we were in the press room earlier about how over the years the print marketing has shrunk. And being a novice, I'm assuming that's directly affected by the social media market.
I mean, it's part of that, but it's also about sustainability, right? We don't want to be printing tons of catalogs and flyers, and everything is online. So you'll definitely be seeing a lot more QR codes than brochures.
I would say the press room maybe 7 years ago had, yes. Do we have?
We have QR codes. Now, Filippo, y'all have been doing this a long time. Kind of what's your staple? What do you, when you say, okay, that's our tile, that's kind of what we put our flag in, like Ferrari is a red Ferrari. What is your product that's your flagship?
I think that our company has a large catalog. I can't tell you if there is one iconic product. For sure, there is one iconic collaboration between us and Philip Stark that everybody knows is one of the most famous designers and architects in the world, and he's designed almost 10 years ago the first collection in ceramic tiles and porcelain tiles for Ceramica Sant'Agostino, and we have the privilege to work with him. Today is the research, is the innovation, is the design that makes the difference in the ceramic business. Consider that in our catalogs there are more than 50 lines, 50 collections. Wow. So it's difficult to tell you if there is one better than another one. I hope that the best will be at this show.
Did y'all release anything specifically for the show this year?
Yeah. We introduced 4 new collections, one travertine look, one marble look, one wood look, and one stone look. Because especially here for United States market, the reproduction of real material in porcelain tiles with the digital ink, with press, with the structure, it's something that really people love. Final end users, customers, architects, designers, everybody love. Ceramic porcelain has many advantages, many. And United States recognize the value, the high-end quality of Italian industry. It's incredible. They love us. You love us.
Absolutely, we do.
I found that there's a term that we use here in the U.S. I don't know, it's called biophilic. And biophilic is like the appreciation of natural looking,
Connecting with nature.
Connecting with nature, right? And
Yep.
do you find that to be, I don't know if it's just in the tile industry, because you're involved in other things other than tile.
Yeah.
What's your feeling on that whole nature direction? Is that going to stay?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, biophilic designs have, and just attention to biophilia in general has been around and pretty important for the past 5 years, but definitely continues. And I mean, you can see it on the trade show floor. Lots of companies are incorporating plants. I mean, it's scientifically proven, right? It forces the brain to relax, it eases stress, so, and it's used across markets, commercial, institutional, so yeah, I would say it's here to stay.
And when we're talking about biophilic type materials, also let's jump to the production side. Green production, where people are producing tile very basically is pretty much clay, water, and fire.
It's all green.
So,
I mean,
so it's historically been a pretty green material in my mind. It's not a
very
vinyl
green.
product that's used petroleum-based, or we're not cutting down trees to make it.
Yep.
But I know that your company and the industry at large is really embracing that recycling. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the industry is going towards in Italy and what you're doing specifically in that area?
I think that all Italian ceramic industry is doing a lot to decrease the impact on the atmosphere that for sure we have to do, because we need to fire our tires until 1,200 Celsius degrees, and so we need to. There is something that arrives in the atmosphere in terms of CO2, but I think that also from a recycle theme we are in a very good position, because 100% of the water, 100% of the raw materials we reuse in our process. But first of all, we need to talk about the lifetime of the product. Mm-hmm. It's true that we need to have the best quality and the best designs in terms of material, but this is for 32, 34 minutes in the life cycle of a product. And if you buy a good quality Italian tile for floor or for wall, your products, it's almost for 50 years. So what is nothing 35 minutes comparing 50 years? That's very, very important.
You compare it to a carpet or a vinyl tile or a wood product. I mean, the tile literally lasts forever. It's never, ever... It may go out of style to some degree, but it'll probably come back in style by the time. Look at what's going on now. All the beiges went out into grays and cold and cool colors, and now all the warm tones are back. Yep. So if you waited out long enough, it'll come back.
Normally
in
it fashions out, and then you demo it. And unlike carpet, where you have to replace it, in 1 or 2 years or 5 years or whatever, and all that goes to the landfill.
So
most of the time, not recycled.
Have you heard of VOCs?
Yeah, I've heard of VOC.
So other products give off a VOC, give off a compound that maybe is not healthy for you. And what's amazing is tile doesn't do any of that.
Nope.
There's no off-gassing. There's no. It's really such a natural product. And Kristin, when you're marketing, to what extent do people need to know about that? Because they may not be aware of that.
I mean, they might not be aware about it, but in almost every industry, there's definitely, consumers are waking up to the realities about these things and really caring. I mean, it's kind of incredible. I mean, think about like during the pandemic, and everyone was talking about, or now people are talking about PFAS, right? And really,
I haven't heard that.
Oh, they're forever chemicals,
okay,
right? That was a problem in water, but now they're finding that they're in textiles.
Okay.
So. So I think VOCs, will become pretty commonplace.
Well, I think a consumer, you mentioned a homeowner or a consumer may not be aware of it, but once you get into the industrial area and specifications, those questions are asked. There are requirements where people are asking about products that don't give off any VOCs that they want to know about potential lead, credits available.
In the commercial world, it's a big, it's huge because being a commercial installer, probably started when I started in the industry almost 20 years ago. LEED was just taking hold, and you never heard of that until then, and then VOCs. But now it's commonplace. Everybody's aware, and everybody is taking an account of what they're specifying. Even though as a contractor, it's kind of annoying, but it's gotten a lot easier as manufacturers have jumped on board, gotten the information readily available, allowed it to get out there, and allowed specifications to go forward that are long-lasting and good for the environment and easy enough for them not to be switched out for a lower cost, less environmental.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at a product that is, you mentioned Filippo technology and printing. What actually are you doing? Are you printing with inks and layers? And how are you getting an image on a tile? How does that work?
It's very important today, especially with digital print, because we are talking about digital print. This is a big news that started in the ceramic industries around 12, 13 years ago, and is how you develop your graphics. Because today, 90% of the worldwide ceramic industry, they already have digital print. So Italian, Chinese, Indian, Mexican, Turkey, Spanish, but it's how you manage your image. For example, in our company, we don't buy the research, but we create ourselves. We're a laboratory with chemicals people, with graphics. If we decide to recreate a marble look, for example, we buy the slabs, we scan the slabs, and we create something that I can't tell is better than nature, because I don't like to say it's better than nature. But from a technological point of view and also from an environment point of view, it's better than using nature.
So if somebody's using a product that's interior, a ceramic or a porcelain tile, and they wanted to, we're talking about products that look like foliage or whatever. Now you want to go outside. To what extent has the industry advanced in exterior tile? Because that's a market that, at least in the U.S.,
it's a huge market.
It's just look at a home or look at a business, how much square feet is inside. Now look at outside. Have you found that in your research where products are being used in interior and now exterior?
Oh yeah, completely. I mean, particularly during the pandemic, right? I mean, the need for outdoor spaces increased tenfold. I mean, in homes, but also in restaurants, in hotels, offices even. Having access to outdoor space is necessary. So, I mean, that's where a ceramic tile comes in, right? It's a workhorse and a beautiful one. So.
Well, what's nice about the porcelains that are used exterior, a lot of times it's just a 2 centimeter thick material used as paver or
three.
Yeah, it's amazing. People I see promotions for brick pavers that need to be sealed and resealed and little small pieces of product, and porcelain doesn't get impacted by the light, doesn't get impacted by UV rays, and you can also get light colors. A lot of times you're doing a stone exterior, but it's very dark, and the sun is beating on it. Now it's in August, and you're going into your yard with bare feet.
Asking
and you're
why.
Too hot. why you've done that. So it's been really amazing that we could take, and the exterior tiles used to be just like cement looking. Now you can have wood looking porcelains outside. You can have
wood, terrazzo, stone. I mean,
terrazzo's hot, right?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of hot trends, what do you see trend-wise?
Yeah, well, speaking of trends, speaking of 70s, so I mean, terrazzo is definitely one, but I mean, I think and getting back to this like topic of biophilia, naturalistic is definitely this like overarching trend, right? There's like tons of florals, there's natural material looks, there's also a lot of color and like really sophisticated palettes, so that's great to see. But yeah, I mean, tiles for outdoor living, so like the pavers, like you mentioned before, and just really sophisticated surface design.
I found the Europeans, Italians specifically, like color. And I remember being in the tile industry. My father was a pioneer in importing Italian tile to New York in 1976.
Oh, nice.
And back then, the sales representatives would come from Italy, and they'd say, "You all want almond and bone. Everything is almond. Almond,
Yeah.
like it was, or white. That's all we want." And
You forgot avocado.
yes, and it was just
Green
amazing.
is a hot color this year.
Green is a hot color. Yes,
It's my favorite color.
but
If you're taking notes, my favorite color is green.
But I found that I mean, look, they dig up archaeological sites. Why did they use these mosaics? Because in stone, because they're colors.
Yeah.
They could bring out all these
So
colors, and
rich,
now
yeah.
you can recreate these in porcelains, and it's really just an amazing thing. And when you find a product like a ceramic or a porcelain that you can use interior, exterior, it's fun. And I've seen products that are made thin for interior, thick for exterior, and you can go from indoors into outdoors.
Yeah, creating
it's-
that seamless transition.
That seamless transition,
Yeah,
which is really amazing.
Yeah.
And people that are doing those sort of projects really love that very organic feel. Go from indoors to outdoors.
Yeah.
And we've seen so much here at the show.
Yeah, and working from a installation perspective, they're using a lot of rooftops and stuff with a pedestal system that you can take that flat roof and make it into an outdoor space. Now, currently, the technical nerd, we don't have a specification for that, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
And there's so many opportunities and advantages of having that extra square footage and adding to your building by having a system that sheds water, and once we get the installation specifications down with the pedestal manufacturers, that's another great big opportunity for our industry.
I think, Filippo, would you agree that one of the biggest changes in the industry has been thin material in large formats and then thick material for exterior? Is that pretty much...
This is one of the best and the big news in our markets, because today you can go out from kitchen and bathroom, because generally speaking, in the past ceramic was connected with kitchen and bathroom. Today we do architecture, we do interior, we do exterior, we do facades. We can supply lobby completely, floor and wall. Also the mix between small size and big slabs is another big trend, because if you travel around the coverings, you can see how many small size there was in the market. That before small size was something cheap, something basic. Now small size with the new decoration, with digital print, with the new ink, new glaze, is something huge to mix and match with the big slabs and also with the outdoor paving. This is another big trend, because until a few years ago we lived in the minimalistic atmosphere.
Right.
So everybody wants soft gray, soft beige, and unique tone. Today people like to mix and match different products to have something that is more special and unique for themselves. This is one of the reasons, because we are talking a lot also with the A&D community, because especially if you want to spend money for something very high-end, like Italian tiles, Italian mosaics, slabs, paving, you need to have somebody like an architect, an interior designer, who helps the final end users to select the right products and to create something dedicated and unique.
And that, I was going to say, that's kind of where the distributors come in to try to sell that and bridge that gap between your knowledge and the architect's knowledge and the designer's knowledge, to make sure they're using the right materials in the right place. And that doesn't always happen, and I know that's what I spend most of my time doing, is saying, yes, you can use this here, no, you can't use this here, because nothing is worse for the industry is having one of your wonderful products put in a place where it's going to fail because it looks bad on everybody, and it's not your product's fault. That's a gap that I think is closing. I'm seeing that more and more architects seem to be more versed and they learn more about it, but we can't stop.
But also the installers too, right? As
Absolutely.
people get more and more certified, using the gauge porcelain tile panels.
Yes.
I feel like this industry historically has been a little behind. It's been a little unstructured. And that's why there hasn't been traditionally too many certification programs that were embraced. But I think the technology has evolved to the point where it's so technical, where the trend is small mosaics, and the trend is also 5 foot by 10 foot slabs, 6 millimeters, or 3 maybe, or 4, or maybe now thin. Now we're going a little thicker, and now it's exterior tiles at a 2 cm and 3 cm, not just 24 by 24. Now we're going rectangles.
Putting them on pedestals, putting them in sand.
It's just amazing, but that's where a show like this is important. Tell us, Kristin, about how important is coverings to our industry, and what can you tell us about this show?
Oh, I mean, it's incredibly important. I mean, Filippo and I were talking about that before too. You know, they're from distributors. You know, some of them can't get to Trursai every year, let's say. So, I mean, coverings is where everyone goes to see the latest products, to network, to see the latest trends, to learn about new installation methods, and and to bring the industry together. So,
it's really an amazing show. There's over 1,000 exhibitors.
Over 1,000 exhibitors,
yeah.
And like
35
I think,
different countries represented.
No, more, like 69.
Oh, well, the press release they gave me. We got to update that press release.
No, it wasn't from NOVITA. I wasn't there.
No, it wasn't from NOVITA. Just for the record.
Yeah.
Well, for the record, let's speak about coverings. So this is not my first covering show.
No, we know, John. You've been here every year since it started.
So
say that every podcast.
I have been to every single covering since day one. This is probably my 33rd year of coverings.
I don't think they have an award. I know you keep shopping for an award.
Shopping for the award.
Oh, no. I think they have a Legend Award.
They have a Legend Award. All right. We have
the Legend Award.
Well, we talked about
we'll get that made for you
all
after
the legend in his own mind.
It's been to see it evolve has been really amazing. It used to be in venues that we can't hold it anymore. It was in Anaheim originally. It was in Miami at one point.
Yep.
It was in New Orleans at another point. But now there's only a few places that could hold this.
In the country.
In the country, right?
Yep.
Vegas and Atlanta, Chicago, New York. It can hold, but somehow we never come to New York.
As a young installer,
no.
You know, I came out of college and got hired on to do tile work, and I knew nothing about it. But coverings was my experience. That it was more than just a job site and a truck full of tile. I met, you know, I'm from rural North Carolina. If you haven't figured out where I'm from.
We thought you were from Fiorano Modenese.
No, I'm not from Fiorano Modenese. But I was able to see that this industry was bigger than just the guys out of the pickup truck.
Yeah.
And I like to come back every year because I am a self-professed tile nerd. I love the classes, and I love seeing the new innovations and asking people that know more than me. And there's a lot of them here. Other than John, I think everybody knows more than me. And trying to figure out these things that I get questions for, I can find the answers in this building this week.
It's very true.
Well, I mean, same for me too. I mean, I meet tons of architects and designers and distributors. So, I mean, even the salespeople at manufacturers. So you get so many different perspectives that you're not aware of in the tile industry because there's a lot to learn.
Have you found architects and designers could come to the show in a specification mode? So
There's definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's only the show's been open for a couple of hours. I've already spoken to like 3 different designers working on projects.
That's great.
And trying to figure out what they should place on that wall
Can you imagine working on a project and coming here to shop?
Gosh, I mean, overwhelming. I was having dinner with family last night, and they're building a lease space, and my cousin said, "I want terrazzo in the bathrooms." I'm like, "You don't want terrazzo in the bathroom. How about terrazzo tile?" I said, "Come with me tomorrow. I'll show you terrazzo tile."
I'll take you shopping.
And if I brought her in here, she'd buy everything in the place if she could. But I can't imagine trying to do that. It'd be overwhelming.
So what I'd like to know, Filippo, is the Italian sector of the tile world is so important, and that's kind of one of the themes of this show today. I have a deep affiliation, a deep sense of camaraderie to the Italian tile industry because I've been in my whole entire life. And Spanish factories make phenomenal products. And I think the Italians and the Spaniards make really very creative, very technologically advanced products. But how has the Italian market changed in the U.S.? What percentage of products here are Italian products? Have you seen it grow? Have you seen it level off? Where are we at?
Completely. In the last 20 years, we completely changed what we are selling, comparing last 20 years in terms of size, in terms of look. We changed from not rectified product to rectified. That it means that you can install with a very small grouts, very small joint. Until 10 years ago, United States was a market with dedicated products. We sold here only products realized for a specific market like US. Now is becoming a very international and a very open market. For sure, there are big difference between East Coast, West Coast, Florida. Florida, they love big side, like 48 by 48. In the Midwest, they prefer smaller side, by like 12 by 24. Also, the colors are different. Also, distribution is changing a lot.
Right.
Because when we started, it was only small distributors and some national accounts. Now there are many regional distributors, many national accounts. Also the DIY world is changing a lot. It's not our first target, the DIY world, because they are looking for something cheaper than the best quality that you can find in Italy. But I think that it's also the perception of the value of the product that is changing a lot, and it's changing fastly, because many people they don't really know what we can do, what we can produce. Coverings, it's very important to open the mind, to try to communicate, because it's true, at Cersaie we receive the biggest distributors and maybe also the most important architect studio of the world, but here we can really talk with the people, also with the dealers, with the medium distributors, with the local architects. This is very important to try to transfer the add value of our production.
What I found really interesting is that the footprint of the Italian tile sector is now in the United States, not only in inventory and or marketing, but actual production. That's been a big change.
Big change.
Now, why is it not in New York? Why is it in Kentucky and Tennessee? Why?
Because the South is awesome.
The South is awesome.
It's production. There are 5-6 big Italian groups with 35% of the local production is in the Italian hands. It means that they are not producing the same level, the same design, the same size that we can produce in Italy, because our industrial level it's higher for the knowledge of the people who work in our ceramic industry. But there is some Italian taste, Italian design that it's already with an American production. This is very important because it's impossible to sell everything from Italy or from Spain to United States also for the cost of the shipments, because this is another problem. Sure. After COVID, it's been an incredible increase of cost of containers. And this means that it makes sense if you buy from Italy or maybe also from Spain, something very high-end. If you are looking for a bread and butter product, budget-friendly, everyday use, local production could be a good solution.
So the Made in Italy moniker, is this a cachet? It's a name to have Made in Italy, but how do you market that and also something made in U.S.? Does that have its appeal?
I mean, the Italians make it pretty easy for me, so
yeah.
I'm not going to lie. And I think everyone looks to Italians for design and innovation. I mean,
chairs, shoes, clothes,
well,
tile,
yes,
right? Everything, right?
Ferraris,
cars,
yeah. No, but I mean, even specifically in the tile industry. I mean, if you look back over the past 60 years, all of the major innovations have come from Italy. You know, first with Manifattura, then, you know, commercial production in porcelain, thin tiles, and now the 2 centimeters. So, I mean, we have a pretty good track record.
Yeah.
John, as an installer, Italian tile was the litmus test for quality. And I remember, when looking at a project, I get a roll of drawings and I flip to the finish schedule. If I saw that it was an Italian manufacturer, I knew that there was a good budget on the project. They'd invested in the design, and we weren't going to have as many quality issues with the materials. And I know that the rest of the world has always been trying to keep up with Italy, and I don't know that they've ever gotten there, because every time I feel like, we went through the through-body porcelain era in the 90s, and, Italy started it, and then, Crossville jumped on it, and then, they said, well, you did this, I'm going to do this, and they kept innovating, and it's been like you're always trying to catch Italy's production. That's how I feel as an installer.
I feel the Italians go to sleep at night just like their minds are thinking, how can I make that, whatever you make,
that dirt better?
It could be a paper clip, whatever it is. The next morning come out and say, I have a better idea, because it's just the innovation is amazing. But what's the bottom line? What does it come down to? It comes down to one word. It comes down to passion. I really feel the Italian culture has passion for food, for design, for style, for quality, for sophistication. And it just like, I had an Italian friend come from Italy once, and they brought their own food because they weren't sure if they were, because they didn't want to go to McDonald's. They just couldn't do it.
Well, so, Italians also bring their own coffee to every trade show that you go to.
I did not know that.
Well, and it's interesting that just because you're making something that's a commodity, a tile, you see the passion in that commodity. Now, it's easy to see it in a Ferrari or a Paneria watch or one of those things that translates. But when you see the passion in a 24 by 24 piece of dirt that's been pressed, that speaks to the culture of where it's from, not only to what's actually being shipped.
So Kristin was speaking about the coffee. So there is a pavilion here that's organized, and I think you guys tell us more about that pavilion and how important what you're serving there is. Like, what cannot you do? What can't you do at that pavilion?
What can't we do? Yeah, so at the show, so Ceramics of Italy is one of the co-owners of Coverings. So every year we organize a big Italian pavilion. This year I think we have over 60 brands. So at the center of it is the Ceramics of Italy booth, and that's where you'll find the best coffee, for sure. Yeah. And
now, there'd be some people here that would argue with you, I bet, about the coffee, but I don't know.
Like who?
Like the Brazilians.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm not a coffee. I like. Do they make Dunkin' Donuts in Italy?
They make,
not so much.
Christina Botti just posted some brioche, I think, stuffed with Nutella or something.
Yeah, Christina Botti is in Milan right now.
So so it's Christina Design Week in Milan.
It is.
And Novita has clients throughout the world, and Kristin's traveling and representing there, and so I've been following her on social media. And
Me too.
And I saw her. So the shows happen to overlap this year. When we talk about shows, Tresai, which is an acronym of a few different letters there. Tresai has been around, I guess.
So this
30
is
years?
actually going to be the 40th.
The 40th year.
The 40th year. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's coming up this fall, at the end of September. And we're all really excited for it. I mean, I think
anybody wants to invite us to do the podcast in Tresai, just contact us. John's phone number's online.
We are available. So Tresai is amazing. It's a completely different type of venue because it's multiple buildings.
Yeah.
And it's
there's something like 20 halls or
22, 24 pavilions. So it's a very huge exhibition. It's a worldwide exhibition. We have porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles, but also bathroom, sanitary ware, taps. So it's for all the bathroom world and not only, for sure. Mosaics, there are many. We received people from over 100 countries in the world. We have over 100,000 visitors in 5 days. And Bologna, for 5 days, it's a worldwide capital of interior design, architecture, because it's porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles are one of the best surfaces that you can use in architecture and interior design. So it's a very very open mind, very large exhibition. Also, our booths are much bigger than coverings. Consider that here a company like Sant'Agostino has around 120 meters booth. In Bologna we have 800.
It's amazing. It's really like a showroom.
It's a house. It's a big house. And unfortunately, only for 5 days, so it's a pity. When you destroy at the end, it's a
It costs as much as
the cost you can't imagine. Don't talk about cost.
No,
please,
no,
please.
So Filippo's involved in an organization called Confindustria Ceramica, and tell us about your role there and your company. How important is that to the industry?
It's the Confindustria Ceramica networking. It's very, very important because it's a place, it's a physical and also digital place where all the best Italian company can talk about every kind of issue or advantage or problems that we have.
Challenges in the industry.
Challenges, yes. There are many, many worldwide challenges.
I would imagine the lack of natural gas to some degree is a major issue.
The problem that we had in Europe in the last 18 months with natural gas is something that you can't imagine. Also with raw materials, we had huge problems, unfortunately, because between 40 and 60% of our raw materials became before February 22 from Ukraine.
Wow.
And in 1 week we lost all these materials because unfortunately they destroyed all the infrastructure. But our passion and our people has been able to move all the purchasing of raw materials very, very fastly, changing also some products from Turkey, from Middle East, from North Africa, from Germany, and we continue to produce for all our customers in the world because it's very, very important to continue to supply your distribution, otherwise you are out.
You know what? There's the term "the perfect storm" between the raw material issue, the gas problems, energy issue from Russia, and then in COVID. All together is just, and the fact that we can come out of this in a positive way, and it's been really, really, it's amazing. It really is.
Well, John, we got to get off the floor
I did see that.
sign.
Yes.
Kristin, Filippo, thank you for being a part of this. We're excited about the rest of coverings. Just appreciate the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank everybody for tuning in.
Thank you.
This is a live stream. If you want to know more about the conversation, Filippo's, all the stuff that he does with the boards he serves in and the manufacturing, and Kristin's, all the communication that she does, we'll have links for them down in the descriptions. As always, you can find John and I here most every Friday, unless we're on vacation or just can't get out of bed that day. And you can find us on any of the social medias: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn,
YouTube,
snail mail, YouTube, whatever it takes. This is the Tile Happy Hour, and we're at Coverings Live today, Coverings 2023.
Well, Craig, it's been really great, Kristin, and
Thank you guys so
Filippo.
much.
It's been
This was
really,
fun.
Thank you
really
very much.
enlightening. It's really an honor to have both of you and everyone here. Really love it, and I'd like to wish everybody peace, health, and happiness.
And don't forget, let's always keep learning together, and we tile the world.
Love it.